I want to talk about a problem that may seem rather technical, but does help clarify certain issues in English grammar. And the problem is this: when you've got a form of the verb to be, like was, and that form is followed by a participle, how can you tell whether that participle is functioning as a verb or as an adjective? Or, to put it a little differently, by use of diagramming, how do you know, if you've got the three words "I was taken" in a row, whether the taken ought to be a subjective complement and put on a pedestal to show that it's functioning as a participle that's an adjective, or whether it ought to be diagrammed like this, and taken should be construed as a verb. I was taken. How do you tell these two things apart? Well, if we consider two sentences, we'll see that there can be a difference. I was taken with the idea. Now, in this usage of taken, what taken means is inspired or attracted. I was attracted by the idea. I was enthusiastic about the idea. I was taken with the idea. And that would mean, actually, that it should be diagrammed this way. I was enthusiastic. I was taken. It is functioning as an adjective. Whereas in this sentence, I was taken by car, here actually what you've got is an instance of the passive voice, and taken here is in fact a verb. Well, I'm saying that, but how can you tell that? You may look at these sentences and say, I don't know, they look quite similar to me, I don't know how you tell the difference. Well, there is a very simple test that one can do to see whether participles that follow forms of the verb to be ought to be considered as verbs or as adjectives. And that test is to try to insert the adverb very in front of the participle you're wondering about. So in this case, it would be, I was very taken with the idea. And that would mean I was very enthusiastic about the idea. And that makes perfect sense. I was very taken with the idea. So if we were to diagram that, we could stick our very right there. I was very taken with the idea. So that, in fact, tells us that taken here is an adjective. But the thing about very is, it's an interesting adverb. It can modify any old adjective, but it can't modify verbs. And you can tell that by looking at this sentence, I was taken by car. Well, try to insert very here, and, well, you'll get, I don't want to do it, because you'll get nonsense. I was very taken by car. You can't be very taken by car. Either you're taken by car 100%, or you're not taken by car 0%. You can't be very taken by car. You can be slowly taken by car or quickly taken by car, but you can't be very taken by car. Very will not modify verbs. So that tells us that taken is indeed a verb. So there you have and it should be therefore diagrammed this way. So there you've got a very simple test to tell whether participles that follow forms of the verb to be are adjectives or verbs.